Hello, Walloom here. What would you say to me if I said that mid-boss is a core issue with Deadlock right now? Absolute cinema. Anyway, what is the problem? I think mid-boss is not the problem, I think it's a problem. Saying the kind of reels you in, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I think it's a problem right now, and I'll get into why. So, a brief introduction to me. I am Walloom. I have never been a pro player in my life, so I'm very credible. So I have over 5,500 hours in Dota, right? And I've reached about Ancient MMR, which is 4,000. Not super high, but enough to know how the game plays out, right? I'm currently Ascendant 1 in Deadlock, so I feel like I've got some clue about how to play the video game Deadlock. There are a lot of people that are a lot better than me, but I'm just kind of opening this up to the public, to everyone, just to kind of see how they feel, because I really think that I want to get my opinion out there, you know? Context, here we go. In MOBAs, right, a neutral objective offers a powerful effect or item that often demands team's attention to prevent the enemy team from obtaining it, right? This is a core element as it offers the winning team to close out a game, and it allows the losing team to come back into the game. These effects differ from game to game. That's the context, right? Most MOBAs have an objective that you fight for, and it's essential in the game. Here is my critique. What if I said that mid-boss is too much of a catch-up mechanic, and it's essentially... You know, you guys ever play Mario Kart? You guys ever play Mario Kart? You know when you're like 12th place? I mean, I would know actually. And you get the fucking, you get the black bullet, right? And you fly to the front of the queue, or you fly to, like, you know, 8th place. Right now, mid-boss feels like that, and I'll tell you why. And okay, context for Dota. I played Dota. I'm just gonna give context to people that don't play Dota. This is all my opinions come from Dota because I think Dota does a fantastic job at making the game feel like a MOBA. Here we go. In Dota 2, when you kill a Roshan, it lets you strategically revive a player of your choosing back into the fight. Similar to how Soul Revive worked. I forgot the name of the item actually, it's been gone for like, what, 2 weeks? It's the same effect as that, right? So you can pick one hero to come back in the fight, and that's considered strong. Furthermore, the creep strengthening effect in Dota is given to a single lane when that lane's barracks is destroyed. It grants a moderate bonus to health and damage that will result in that lane to constantly push if left unmonitored by the enemy. When all of your barracks fall, all of your creeps get an even more substantial buff, as in when all the enemy barracks fall. If you kill all the enemy barracks, all 3 of them, you get a substantial buff to your creeps that make them immensely powerful. Like, they are so strong, and these are what is called mega creeps, okay? So, if I destroy all the enemies, I have mega creeps, they have to defend against mega creeps. This is essentially a 95% lose scenario, as the constant pressure of waves mean you cannot get out onto the map and make any plays. If you have no heroes that can effectively clear waves, such as Kunkka, who has a cleave built into his kit, the game is about 99% lost. In addition to the barracks, Dota 2 also shows differences in the mechanic of buybacks, which allows you to forfeit purchasing an item by charging a set amount of gold based on your hero's net worth to come back into the fight. Essentially buying your way out of your death timer and granting your team another fighting chance. The win condition in Dota 2 is when your enemy has no more buybacks. That's how you win late game, right? While I'm not arguing for buybacks to be added, I do think it's an essential feature to mention. Why am I telling you all this? Why? Why am I yapping? What's going on? Because in Deadlock's current state, right, all of what I just told you, to summarize, the creep strengthening effect, mega creeps having a 99% lose case scenario, having buybacks in the game, these are win conditions to win games, right? Like, they decide games. What if I told you the effect of mega creeps, as well as the effect of buyback, is granted to the team that managed to land a single punch on the crystal? Boom. Doesn't that sound crazy? When I just say it like that, when I preface it directly to fit my needs, isn't it crazy how it suits my needs? Oh, that's crazy. Next point. When it's compared like that, it sounds utterly ridiculous. The creeps don't hit nearly as hard as Dota, right? When they have the buff, fair enough. However, the damage isn't important. It's the fact that the map becomes unplayable without proper coordination. This is as well as no wards or smoke of deceit in the game, allows for very little counterplay from the team that's behind, and furthermore, homogenized games that are decided by one single punch. Okay? Smoke of deceit It's a item that you can use and you can smoke people from the map, right? You can make plays. This is my opinion. That's the context. This is my opinion. Mid-boss effect is far too powerful. All games are homogenized by mid-boss. Mid-boss is too much of a coin flip because the crystal is too easy to steal. The team that killed the mid-boss gets nothing. The losing team has a gigantic swing back into the game. 6. This is the only way that the losing team can actively come back into the game without the enemy team literally just throwing the game. If the winning team, this is number 7, if the winning team doesn't get Rejuvenator, games stagnate. Base races are incredibly uncommon because they all resolve around the crystal, right? One team has mega creeps or one team doesn't have mega creeps. That's literally how it is. This, in my opinion, causes the games to, once again, third time, become homogenized. It's the same thing. You can tell I like that word because I've used it 3 times. And lack of character, it's homogenized and it lacks character by only offering a single way to close out a game. Base races in Dota are among the most nail-biting moments for the player as well as the viewer. It is very uncommon in Deadlock to have a lane pushed in when behind due to the strength of the crystal, right? So that means if you're losing, you're just getting pelted. Like, there's nothing, you just have to wait in your base. Here is the change that I like to see. My change number 1, make mid-boss more threatening. Number 2, I would remove the bonus 20% fire rate, health, and movement speed from Rejuvenator, because I genuinely think those are just it's a bit overkill. 3, place the creep effect in the last hit of the mid-boss, or inside the shrines. By putting the creep effect within the barracks, not only does this prevent snowballing of winning teams, as well as dragged out games by the losing team luckily stealing a Rejuvenator, this change will also grant shrines a proper identity within the game, rather than the identity being tied solely to flex slots. All towers have an identity in this game. The first Guardian gives shop, right? The Walkers now give resists and are stronger in the middle, so you want to defend your middle Guardians. Base Guardians are the last line of defense before the enemies enter. And Shrines just kind of hang out, right? You can argue they defend the Patron, you gotta kill Shrines before you get the Patron. That's true, but they do a pretty shit job. Right now they're just 2 buildings that a support can kill in like 3 seconds. 5 seconds maybe. If Shrines can you imagine if Shrines didn't have a flex slot attached to them? They would literally just be tier 4 towers from Dota 2 that don't shoot. In Dota, right? Dota, King Dota, we love Dota. Yahoo! Taking each lane is an event in itself, right? Most of the taking a lane isn't pushing through the tier 3 onto the high ground, taking barracks. That takes a lot of resources. Most of the time, a 1 fight early to mid game will only allow 1 lane of barracks to be taken. This concretes the lead by keeping that wave shoved enough where at least 1 person has to clean the lane up. This also allows the team that took the barracks to fight with 1 less enemy, right? So this is the essence of MOBAs, using game knowledge to know when you can and when you can't fight. Taking a set of base guardians as well as shrine pales in comparison to losing your entire team. However, if you lose your entire team in Dota 2 but take 1 lane of Rex in the mid game, this trade can actually also be seen maybe not a win, but it's a trade, right? As much as I hate getting rat doted, this play influences decision making from the winning team rather than just running it down mid. That's what I think. Here's an alternative that my friend actually said that I think could be cool as well. If one team last hits the mid boss and the other team steals the rejuve, the effect that is stolen should be about halved, so 1.5 minutes compared to 3 minutes. Main goal. Why? What's the point? What are you yapping about all the time, bro? Here's my gripe with it. Main goal. The main goal is preventing the entire game state from being decided by a single punch. We're playing a MOBA, guys. There are lanes in the game. The game state is decided by lanes. Since we have no wards, since we have no smoke of deceit, there is less opportunity to make plays. Therefore, mid-boss is incredibly overtuned for the lack of vision alternatives in this game. In the scenario that mid-boss keeps both effects, I believe that it is essential to separate both effects to 2 different game events. Separating the creep buff and the respawn buff would allow the winning team to be rewarded for killing mid-boss, and also still allow the losing team to come back into the game without the entire game state flipping. If the winning team hits the Rejuvenator. Yippee, yahoo, yay. The effect is the same as current. If the losing team punches the crystal, it allows a comeback. The main goal of these changes are to make mid-boss more threatening, as well as discouraging the feast or famine nature of the Rejuvenator. Due to the chaotic nature of Deadlock, having all lanes win, and everyone outplaying the enemy and being given nothing for mid-boss when it's stolen is the most frustrating thing in the entire game for me. MOBAs are all about counterplay. In every scenario, there should be a play that is available, right? Even if it means that a support smokes out of the base and places a ward to get some vision back, that's a play. Because you may lose the game, but you can... That play, little play in itself, helps you win the game. In Dota, placing a ward and activating Smoke of Deceit allows your team to forfeit the comfort of your base by trading it for the element of surprise. This play inherently contains a risk and a reward. This is what makes MOBAs a complete thrill to watch and be a part of. Having everything decided by one punch is just too polarizing for me. In a MOBA that is a third-person shooter, chaos is everywhere. I don't want to yap too much, but to summarize this whole video, mid-boss Rejuvenator is currently overtuned in the fact that giving stats and also giving mega creeps equivalent and buyback equivalent, which is respawn, all in one punch in the Rejuvenator, it's just too much in one. You either lose everything by missing the punch, or you gain everything by getting the punch. And I feel like it should be changed to make mid-boss hit harder, be more threatening, removing the fire rate, health, movement speed, place the creep effect in the last of the mid-boss or inside the shrines to allow for the winning team to still be ahead, still, you know, keep it going, keep the momentum going, and not have the entire game state flip and the map be pushed into the enemy because of one punch. That's it. I'm open to criticism, open to ideas. Some Eternus players are going to watch this and go, what the fuck is this guy talking about? This is the worst opinion. And maybe, but this is how I truly feel right now. And if you disagree, let me know. Anyway, that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's been cool. It's been cool, this one. Thank you.